Front and Center. Front and Center. A focus on important and significant developments affecting the lives of Filipinos, not only in the Philippines, but also those living and working around the world. Join us in Front and Center. Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day, welcome to Front and Center, where we focus on developments in the Philippines, legislation that provides policies and directions that strives to promote a better economy for the country, issues that concern the welfare and well-being of every Filipino. All of these and more will be Front and Center. And you can watch this program on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. That's Radyo Pilipinas World Service, as well as on our audio streaming through PBS Evox receiver app, and also on our shortwave broadcast through shortwave frequencies. That's 12.020 megahertz, 15.640 megahertz, and 17.665 megahertz. This is your host, Jerome Toledo. Let's begin Front and Center on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Front and Center. Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
The Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI, is currently at the forefront of ensuring food security and price stability amid global uncertainties such as the Middle East conflict. And also, DTI recently conducted inspections of manufacturers, distribution centers, groceries, and supermarkets to monitor supply levels and prevent price increases. And we heard that Trade Department has been assured of manufacturers that prices of basic goods will be stable for at least 30 to 60 days while ensuring that supply remains sufficient. And let's talk about more of that matter with Trade and Industry Secretary Maria Cristina Roque. Good morning, Secretary Roque. Thank you so much for joining us in the program.
Yes, good morning, Jerome. Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you. All right, so President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ordered the Trade and Industry Department to coordinate with the manufacturers and ensure that food supply is sufficient. And also, you mentioned there is enough supply for 1 to 2 months. So I would like to ask this: what specific data or indicators is the DTI is using to guarantee this, especially amid global uncertainties like this one, the Middle East conflict, that affects food supply chains, Secretary?
Yes, okay. There is no price increase for basic necessities and prime commodities for the next 30 days. The 30 days ends on April 16, but there are some food items na they have inventory and they will have no price increase up to 60 days. But we will keep on updating the consumers on an every 2-week basis, just to make sure that they are aware of what the government is doing and what the government efforts are to make sure that we have the prices of food are stable. So aside from that, we have enough supply of food as shown in the manufacturing plant visit that we did last Saturday with the President. Marami po tayong pagkain. Wala po tayong problema sa pagkain. We have enough supply of food.
And that would last 1 to 2 months. And also, Secretary, manufacturers have committed to stable prices for that particular period. What concrete measures is the government putting in place now to ensure supply and price stability even beyond that window? Just to ask this, Secretary.
For actually, there's what we call the basic necessities and prime commodities list. Nilistahan po ang DTI where 205 products po ito that are all under the list of basic necessities and prime commodities that DTI has control of the price. So these prices are stable now and there's no price increase for basic necessities and prime commodities. The list of these items are nakapaskil, or you can see it in the supermarkets and groceries, in the social media of DTI, and also in the website of DTI. So nandito po ang mga information that's needed for all the consumers to be aware of the prices of the food, because we don't want them to be victim of profiteering or there's no need for them to hoard, or there's no need for them to panic because we have enough supply of food.
And I would like to ask this secretary. So is DTI ready for the what we call extended effects of this Middle East conflict?
DTI has always been on top of all of this, no? Meaning we have different regional offices in all the 18 regions, and we closely monitor these supermarkets and groceries to make sure that there's enough supply. Actually, nung umikot kami, madami pong pagkain. There's a lot of supply. And then we are also in contact with the manufacturers and also the industries to make sure that we have enough supply. For now, they have assured us that there will be no price increase for basic necessities and prime commodities for the next 30 days. But of course, we acknowledge that there's an increase in gasoline. So for now, there's still no price increase, but in the future, we still have to check. So therefore, we are constant communicating with manufacturers and industries. And once there's a change, or once there is an update, we will definitely inform the public.
And also manufacturers will replenish those supplies that they are going to...
yes, definitely.
Yes.
Of course. Gusto naman nila makabenta eh. So they will constantly replenish the supply. Walang problema yun. And even the Supermarket Association already came out with a statement, and they were also interviewed in the TV, that there's no price increase for basic necessities and prime commodities for the next 30 days. And they also, the supermarkets also have enough stock and enough food. We have enough supply.
Okay. I would like to ask this, Secretary Roque, is price freeze is one of the option should this crisis extends?
There's still no talks on that, no. We will update the public in case there are new updates. But for now, there's no price increase for basic necessities and prime commodities for the next 30 days. And there's no need to panic, and there's no need to hoard because we have enough supply of food.
Okay. All right. Can you tell us more about the coordination of the Trade and Industry Department with other government agencies concerned, such as the Agriculture Department and the Energy Department? To make sure the supply chains.
We constantly meet, and we take a whole government approach now to get things done. So, nagko-coordinate po kami lahat. Lahat ng cabinet secretaries, we coordinate with each other.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, if you notice the Palengke last March 14, we were there with the DA secretary. So he also assured the public that there's no problem with supply. There's enough food.
And also the Trade Department will actively conduct a series of market inspections and also coordination with manufacturers to ensure that these entrepreneurs and these what we call businessmen will comply with the rules of the Trade and Industry Department.
Yes. We have a department that really strictly monitors and enforces now, and they are doing this on a daily basis in all the 18 regions around the country. So we really have people for this that really monitors and enforces on a daily basis. So hindi problema to for us. We do this. This is really part of the job of DTI. But now that there's a crisis, of course, we're more strict, and we will really enforce, and we will really monitor much stricter now
Okay, and also since you're talking about the regional offices, I believe DTI has 18 regional offices across the nation, and then they are monitoring supply chain. So is there any report reaching into your office that there's a sign of uneven distribution or potential shortages in far-flung areas?
Okay, as of yesterday, there was none. But of course, we keep on monitoring just in case meron. So in case meron, of course, we will strictly enforce. But for now, there has been no report, and there has been no untoward incident.
Okay, and there's no detected hoarding happening in warehouses, and if they caught in the act that they're hoarding products, what would be the penalties for them?
It depends on the offense. No, the penalties will depend on the offense. But for now, there's no hoarding. Most of the products, if not their inventory, they put it in the groceries and supermarkets for the people to buy. And we've also seen that there's really enough food and there's really inventory that are available in all these supermarkets and groceries.
Okay, that's good. All right, and also, since there was you mentioned about the talks with manufacturers, particularly you mentioned the talks you had with a certain company. How binding are the commitments from manufacturers? Are these commitments forms a formal agreements, or is this a voluntary assurances that could change anytime, Secretary?
No, they already committed to 30 days. So we talked to the owners already of these manufacturing companies that are part of the basic necessities and prime commodities list. So they have assured us already that there will be no price increase for basic necessities and prime commodities for the next 30 days, and for some up to 60 days. So that's I mean that's how it is.
Okay, okay.
Yes,
And
yeah. So yes, yeah. Wala tayong magiging problema.
okay, okay. That's a good thing that those manufacturers have assured the government is that they're not going to raise their prices in the next few weeks or months. So it's a good thing.
No, yeah, for the next 30 days.
30 days, yes.
The prices will remain stable.
Remain stable.
Yeah, for the basic necessities and prime commodities products that are part of the list which DTI controls.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One last thing, Secretary Roque. So amid the Middle East conflict, so what is your message to Filipinos to reassure them that the government is fully on top of the food supply situation, given that there's a communication and coordination with manufacturers, and also you conducted market inspections and in similar situation or similar acts. What is your message to Filipinos?
Yeah, to all the Filipinos there, to all the Filipinos out there, I would like to tell you that there's enough supply of food for everyone, and for the prices of basic necessities and prime commodities, wala po itong price increase for the next 30 days. There are some items that will extend to 60 days, but for now, for the next 30 days, wala po tayong price increase. So there's no need to hoard or no need to panic, because there's enough food supply for our people. This has also been confirmed by the DA Secretary when we did the Palengke visit, and we are closely monitoring all the groceries and supermarkets to make sure that there is enough food supply for our people. So we will continue to update every time we get new information, and we will continue to monitor and to enforce just in case we find people that naglalabag sa batas. But for now, everything is stable, and for now, there's enough food supply for everyone.
Okay, and also if a consumer will see some sort of hoarding activities or unjustifiable price increase, where they can reach out to the trade department.
Yes, yeah, that's a good question. They can reach out to 1-384. That's the DTI hotline, or they can send photos, or they can ihain nila yung complaint nila sa report to sec@dti.gov.ph. So report to sec@dti.gov.ph.
Okay, so we will have to repeat those important numbers for the people,
Yes,
so that they can
Yes,
launch a
yeah.
complaint if they see some illegal price
Yes,
adjustments and also hoarding activities conducted by these businessmen.
Yes.
And all right, and with that,
That's
thank you so
correct.
much
Yeah.
for joining us in the program, Secretary Chris Roque
Thank
of the
you.
Trade and Industry
Okay,
Department.
maraming salamat. Thank you.
Good morning. All right, and that was Trade and Industry Department Secretary Maria Cristina Roque, as she assured that food supply will remain stable, and it's sufficient for the next 30 days. There will be no price increases, as she made that commitment as he talks with some manufacturers or food manufacturers rather, and they are continuously monitoring the situation in the markets, in the supermarkets, and also groceries, so that they will have they will be so that they will be in check of the prices there. So it's a good thing that the government is on top of the situation to control the prices, and there will be no price increases in the next 30 days. And more of the developments here in the Philippines when Front and Center returns after these short messages.
Mas pinadali na ang government transactions sa tulong ng eGov.ph Super App. Pwedeng-pwede mo nang magawa ang lahat ng ito. I-download ang eGov app sa iyong smartphone o tablet mula sa App Store o Google Play Store. Pagkatapos, ilagay ang iyong mobile number at i-authenticate gamit ang one-time PIN o OTP para marehistro ang iyong account. Saka ilagay ang iyong mga pangunahing impormasyon at kumpletuhin ang facial recognition technology para sa verifikasyon ng iyong pagkakakilanlan. Para sa mas mabilis at mas maayos na serbisyong panggobyerno, gamitin na ang eGov.ph Super App.
Mabilis ang trivia, dagdag talino. Heto na ang Dagling Kaalaman.
Mahilig ka bang kumanta?
Ba't di papatulan ang pagsuyong nagkulang?
Bukod sa pinagagaan ng iyong pakiramdam, ay pinalalakas pa ang iyong lungs. Ang pagkanta ay nakakatulong din para labanan ng iyong stress at ikaw ay makapag-relax. Nakakatulong din ito sa pagpapabuti ng iyong memorya at pag ikaw ay nakakaranas ng hirap sa buhay. At ang good news, ang pagkanta ay para sa lahat.
Let it go!
Nasa tono ka man o wala.
And here I stand.
Kaunting kaalaman na malaking dagdag talino. Abangan muli ang susunod na Dagling Kaalaman.
Front and Center. Front and Center. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Welcome back to Front and Center here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Still with me, Jerome Toledo. We're going to play a video message coming from President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. as in his recent video posted on Sunday, March 22. President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. outlines a series of government interventions aimed at mitigating the economic impact of the conflict in the Middle East. So in that video message from the president, he laid out four major points such as transport and fuel, food security, as well as energy and power, and the OFW or Overseas Filipino Workers Repatriation in the affected areas or countries in the Middle East. And the president emphasized immediate relief for commuters as we talk about the transport and fuel and transport workers to cushion the blow of rising oil prices, such as suspending the approved fare hikes, offering huge discounts on government railways such as the Metro Rail Transit and the Light Rail Transit, and as well as the release of fuel subsidy to small-time transportation workers and the rollout of free ride programs in major cities such as Metro Manila, Cebu, and Davao. But we're yet to hear more of that free ride programs. We will have to ask for more clarifications regarding that free ride program of the Transportation Department. And also, President Marcos Jr. also said in the video message that efforts are focused on keeping the price of rice and basic goods stable, such as the rollout of cheap rice program in local government units, market monitoring to ensure stable prices of prime commodities, and the rollout of fuel subsidies for farmers and fisher folks. So we just concluded an interview with Secretary Roque. She ensured that prices of prime commodities and other basic necessities will be stable or will remain the same in the next 30 days. So that's a very good assurance coming from the Trade Secretary. And also she mentioned about the continuous coordination with the Agriculture Department regarding the basic agricultural products such as rice and some meat products. So it's a good thing that the government agencies are coordinating with each other. And also, in the video message from the president, the government is negotiating with fertilizer producing countries to secure supply for May and June. So we're still talking about the food security aspect. And also, the chief executive underscored the Philippines should not head into an energy crisis, and oil supply must be ensured. And as we heard, the president assured the public that oil supply will last for approximately 50 to 60 days. So it's a good thing that we have supply. And also, the energy department said that more oil supply will be inbound here in the country, but we don't know yet the exact date of the oil deliveries that will be delivered here in the country from some other oil producing countries. So we have to wait and see on that, as it will those deliveries will greatly support the energy supply or oil supply here in the country. And lastly, the president said the government is prioritizing the safety of Filipinos caught in the Middle East conflict. And just this morning, March 23rd, government has welcomed the fourth batch of overseas Filipino workers repatriated back here in the country from certain or some Middle Eastern countries. And we hope there will be more repatriation flights coming into our country from overseas Filipino workers there. But first, here's what President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has to say. Take a listen.
Maliwanag naman na itong gera sa gitnang silangan ay talagang malaking naging epekto sa buong mundo at dito rin sa Pilipinas. Siyempre, hindi natin maaring hayaan na pasanin itong mga mas nakakaraming commuter. Pagising ko kaninang umaga, nakita ko yung mga headline at ang pinag-uusapan ay yung naaprubahan na fare hike. Siguro hindi ito ang panahon para magtaas ng pamasahe para sa ating mga kababayan. Kaya tinutos ko sa DOTR na suspendihin muna ang fare hike. Ang mga lambas, libreng sakay program natin, nationwide at operational pa rin sa Metro Manila, sa Metro Cebu at sa Metro Davao. Sa LRT2 at MRT3 naman, ay may 50% na diskwento simula March 23. Yung blue beep cards na may 50% discount. Habang ang white beep card ay patuloy ang 50% discount para sa mga PWD, senior at estudyante. Ang pag-release naman ng mga iba pang mga pondo para sa mga cash relief at subsidies ay patuloy sa iba't ibang mga ahensya. Fuel subsidies sa DOTR ay nai-release na. Halos 100,000 na tricycle driver ang nabigyan ng Marso ng 20, pati na rin ang nationwide rollout para sa ibang transportation sector workers na magsisimula sa April 6. Naintindihan natin ang sigaw ng mga nagpoprotesta na kababayan nating nasa sektor na ito. Pero gusto kong ulitin sa inyo, hindi kayo maiiwanan, hindi kayo pababayaan ng pamahalaan. Masusi natin binabantayan ang mga presyo ng mga ibang bilihin. Nung isang araw naman ay sumugod din tayo sa palengke para makita ang presyo ng mga pangunahing bilihin o prime commodities. Sa awa naman ng Diyos, stable pa at walang naman masyadong pag-abuso. Walang nagbebenta ng higit sa suggested retail price. Patuloy tayo makikipag-ugnayan sa ating mga manufacturer ng mga basic commodities na kritikal sa panahon na ito. Sa bigas naman, ongoing pa rin ang 20 peso rise sa 177 na LGU at pararamihin pa natin yan. Napapag-usapan din ang paglalagay ng price cap muna sa bigas. Abagan po natin ito. So sa bigas, wala tayong problema, sapat ang supply at nakokontrol pa natin ang presyo. Fuel subsidies din ang nag-aabang para sa mga magsasaka at mangingisda. Ongoing na talaga yung mga programang yan. Pero nagpatagdag pa tayo ng 50 million sa mga regional field officers. Ang presyo naman ng fertilizer, ibang usapan po yan dahil petroleum product yan. Nakikipag-usap na tayo sa iba't ibang fertilizer producing countries. Okay pa tayo sa Abril pero pinaghahandaan na natin ang May to June. Sa supply naman ng kuryente, kinakausap ang mga power generation company upang madagdagan pa ang kapasidad ng ating mga grid sa susunod na 60 days. 23 power project na may kapasidad ng 900 megawatts ang inaasahang mag-o-online para makatulong sa supply. Ongoing din ang koordinasyon sa paggamit ng malampaya natural gas na full capacity para madagdagan naman ang supply natin sa kuryente. Tungkol naman sa supply ng langis, nakikipag-usap na po tayo sa mga bansa na ating mga trade partner gaya ng India. Ngunit sinasama na natin lahat ng mga iba at tinalapitan ang China, Japan, Thailand, Brunei, South Korea patungkol sa mga posibleng supply arrangement. Maganda naman ang naging usapan natin, buti na lang at talagang kinakaibigan natin sila at sila ay handang tumulong sa atin. At hindi po natin kinakalimutan ang mga ating kababayan na nandoon sa mga alanganing lugar sa Middle East. Tuloy-tuloy naman ang pagdating ng ating mga kababayan mula sa gitnang silangan. Mahigit 1,400 overseas Filipino workers at 334 dependents na ang nakauwi mula noong 5 ng Marso hanggang March 17. Yung pangatlong government chartered flight naman ay dumating dito noong March 18 na may sakay na 153 OFW, 114 dependent at saka 50 stranded na Pilipino. Sa mga susunod na araw ay mas marami pa ang pararatingin natin. Ay marami sa kanila ay uuwi sa Visayas at Mindanao, kaya tiniyak naman natin na makakapag-hotel muna sila at binubuk natin sila sa mga flight na papunta sa kanilang mga probinsya. Tinitiyak natin na naaalagaan sila ng mga. Ngayon ang panahon para magtulungan. Ngayon ang panahon para maipakita natin sa buong mundo ang katangian ng bayanihan na nasa puso ng bawat Pilipino. Bawat isa sa atin ay may magagawa namang paraan para makatulong. Pagtitipid man, magtulong sa kapwa, o kahit sa pamamahagi ng tamang impormasyon at hindi pagkakalat ng fake news. Huwag naman sana tayong magdagdag pa sa problema. Lahat tayo ay kailangan magtulungan. Alalahanin natin ang pagmamahal natin sa ating mga kababayan. Huwag natin kakalimutan na kapag pinabayaan natin ang isa sa atin, napabayaan na natin ang buong bansa. Asahan naman ninyo na nandito lang ang pamahalaan bilang inyong takbuhan at sandalan.
Just heard the video message of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. as he appealed for a bayanihan spirit in light of the ongoing Middle East situation or crisis that greatly affects our economy and as well as the affecting our oil prices here in the countries. And also, since he mentioned about the repatriation of our overseas Filipino workers in the Middle East, this morning, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. welcomed 343 overseas Filipino workers who were repatriated from the Middle East as tensions in the region continue to escalate. And they arrived in the Philippines this morning, March 23, via a fourth government chartered flight from Saudi Arabia, with many coming from Qatar, Kuwait, and Bahrain. Again, this is a fourth repatriation flight that government is spearheading with a goal to safely return our overseas Filipino workers affected by the conflict back in the country. And according to Migrant Worker Secretary Hans Leo Kakdak, several overseas Filipino workers had to travel by land for several hours to reach Riyadh in Saudi Arabia due to airspace restrictions before flying to Manila. And the group also included a small number of dependents such as children. And the government is preparing additional evacuation flights from the United Arab Emirates and assured that funds for repatriation and reintegration remain sufficient. And returning OFWs will receive assistance as usual, including temporary shelter, transportation, and financial aid as part of efforts to ensure their safety amid the ongoing Middle East conflict. And we hope there will be more repatriation flights for our overseas Filipino workers who needs to return to the country, to this country, Philippines, as they get affected by this Middle East conflict that is, it seems endless, and it's heading into a third week. So we hope and pray for the safety of our overseas Filipino workers returning here in the Philippines. And with that, we now conclude this edition of Front and Center on Radyo Pilipinas World Service, together with our technical team headed by Miss Susan Aison. On Warcast, Miss Justine Osias. Live stream operator, we have Mr. Le Magpayo and Ms. Ted Vicente, and also to our intern, Mr. Adrian Gregorio. This is your host, Jerome Toledo. Until next time, mabuhay.
You have just heard and watched Front and Center. Front and Center. Join us again for another edition here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. Front and Center.